Thank you for being here. I'm Melissa. As you can tell from my accent, I'm not from here. I'm from Toronto. I've flown in. It's a pleasure to be here. Really an honor. It's a last minute trip. I came on a whim, but it's like the best decision I have ever made. And first of all, I really want to honor Priscilla in this moment. Sharing your poetry is very vulnerable. It takes a lot to put yourself out there to the world in this way, very publicly. She's published a book. I want to honor that. Poetry gives a window into the soul, the mind, the heart of a person. So I want to thank Priscilla for allowing us to be a part of this moment, for trusting us with that. So with that, please do take pictures, capture moments tonight, videos. You're more than welcome to do that. We're gonna get started. So without further ado, please help me to welcome Priscilla to the stage.
Hey guys, I can't really see you too tough, but thank you so much for coming, for being here. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through a few of the poems, just a few in my book. But yeah, just come on the journey with me. I'm gonna start with Say It With Me. Say it with me. I am more, I am more, I am more than the service that I render. I am more than a backup generator. This girl here, that's her God, and that's his daughter. It is indeed true that what you see is what you get. Yet I am more than the service that I render. Let me explain why I came. There's no need for you to wonder. In '96, I was born, I was a wonder. Then came school, and then came rules, and all that was pure pressure. Long story short, your girl crashed, and she didn't want to wake up. Today, this is my stage. I keep in mind that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So when troubles come my way, I create. My dad above is the ultimate artist. So whenever you're moved by art, don't you count yourself out. When troubles come my way, I create. 26, just a regular chick. And some days I myself need this reminder. So say it with me. I am more, I am more, I am more. I am more than the service that I render. Okay. She believed so she could. She believed so she could. And indeed, this was her mood. Following up goals, envisioning life away from the dune. Step by step, she wades through the mud, flicking off the stems that try to stifle her bud. With every stride, she carves her own groove. Through trials and triumph, her spirit proves. She paves a path where none have stood. Resilient and determined, she understood. Not mere dreams, but plans pursued, her resolve unwavering, her fortitude renewed. So she presses on, breaking through. For she believed she could, and thus she knew. Indictment. She looked over at me, tore me down. With her words, built a narrative of lies, and they wore me down. Dragged baby sis into it too. Knocked me down, knocked my crown, and ignited my frown. Dug her teeth into my wounds, causing havoc all around. My precious 15-year-old self met with the unfortunate series of this particular event. Young and vibrant and full of excitement, yet so misunderstood, shunned and subject to judgment. Judgment from those who she would call sis, boo, auntie, and cuz too. This chapter of her life we'll call Indictment.
Silence in the court. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Court of Man. In the quest for truth, where is the reward? One steps forth with an argument displayed. In this arena, the best case claims the prize. Innocence matters not if the jury is persuaded otherwise. 12 fallible minds deciding the price.
The system molds man's artful ways to bend evidence and twist what is known. An artful dodges race. A jury decides and their verdict sways, but should truth pursue before all to own?
This binary dance in the courtroom's domain where money may grant an escape from the dark prison cell chains. But deep within the human mind's terrain, a need for more than victory's gain.
Reflect on this mindset society maintains. In the court of law, a relentless game. Let's pause and consider what truly remains. For Jesus offers solace here and beyond, not fleeting fame.
In this world where freedom's not assured, I seek my heavenly Father above. Eternal freedom in His grace secured. My guilt, His mercy, and everlasting love.
Once lost and now found in Christ, I thrive. Imagine a court with a single-minded aim to seek the truth, forgiveness, and change. A semblance of community, a world without blame, but sin's chains persist in a world ever so strange.
It's not perfection that we seek, nor a flawless design. But such ideals are but man's fruitless sign, because only God can fill that void. Only He can truly align. Only God can fill the void and make our guilty souls shine.
In God's higher realm, we find eternal peace's flow, a love and truth that only He can bestow. He yearns for each soul to let itself be known, one for all in His kingdom where pure hearts are known.
Can you not see it? This grand divine plan, one for all, unlike the court of man. Soul and soul. He is the shield around me. Yes, He lifts my head up for me. My everything, because He has given everything up for me. His love is an anchor. His love is protection. His love is perfection. Many years and forever to go. So much more to experience and still so much more to know. He made me, yes, He saved me. The creator of my soul and the lover of my soul. Man looks at the appearance, but God looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 7, verse 16. Feel free to check it out. He filled me up with what I know now as a longing. He filled me up with what I know now as a calling. And after a lifelong of searching for the one who made me, the one who saved me, the creator of my soul, and the lover of my soul. Girl, you there?
I'm here, man. Okay, you look good.
Thank you.
Okay, 1 second, just kidding.
That's all right, I'm here.
Okay, what you gonna see?
No, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I need to tell you something though. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Seeing double. I would rock up at your Toronto address and you would open the door. We need not say any words. You would embrace me. You would crawl if I was crawling. You would rise when I rise. There's no price I can place on this space, for it is heavier than the words I would choose. Deeper than any scale can convey. Reformed and refined jars of clay. No matter the day, we will be as we are. Though geography seems us far, we are one at heart.
I should tell you what this one guy does to you. Wait, actually, one second.
Sweet one still. He's a sweet one still. Just what the doctor ordered. Not just a snack or an appetizer. This one is the whole meal. Approved by the father, loved by the mother. Tick, tick, tick. That's all the boxes on the list. He's not perfect, but he is just what she needs. Complete on her own, the Father sustains her. And together, this world better watch out. This has got that Bonnie and Clyde type feel. Catch her in a rhyme. Concrete formed around her. Even the weather showed no mercy. Forever and forever will this be. Pondered the heart of little old me. Reaching for healing. Resorting to kneeling. Where a seeker's heart would be nurtured and an open mind would serve her. She realized which way she was inclined, and so she used her rhymes. She used her rhymes to rewrite what had happened to her, to take control in surrender, to release the pain, to take back the plunder, and unleash her power. That's the way she went. And on that path, less known, she walked. Against the grain, she learned the game. No pain, no gain. She rewired her perspective of time. These days, you will most likely catch her in a rhyme. The poet. They're not a poet simply because they write. He is a poet because he is committed to pour it. She is a poet because she is committed to pour it. Into the depths of an A5 sheet of paper, across old journals filled with crumpled old receipts, this poet consistently pours it. They pour their life onto the streets for the public to see. The poet pours it and sometimes pauses to deliver more, to get you all to ponder, to wonder beyond and more. The poet has their words as a result of a lived experience, as a result of imagination. The cup pours, the praises call, and almost certainly the curtains draw. They draw to a close, so now you know about the poet. At the next pouring, consider this one thing. What is the ending? What is the journey? On behalf of the poems that didn't make the canon, your poet is still doing their pouring. To only read and not wonder, would be a serious undoing. That's the last poem.
Hello, I'm back. Wow, can we like breathe for a second because that's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's timely in this moment to honor Priscilla for the work that you've put forth. And again, I'll reiterate the vulnerability that is in poetry. So we really are here to experience a really special moment. One thing I'll say, you've invited me to share a poem, and it's a privilege, and I think it speaks to your kindness and warmth, because not only have you shared your poetry with us, you've also shared your moment and allowed me to share a poem. I feel entirely unworthy, but thank you. So the piece I'll read for you today is one that I wrote 2 years ago that is speaking to me today in this moment. I think that's the beauty of poetry. The words on paper are static, but in many ways are living and breathing and speak to us in different places and moments in our lives. The poems that Priscilla has shared today all center around the theme of love. Love in different forms, self-love, friendship love, godly love, romantic love, and other forms of love. So this poem that I've written is written to my friends who sat with me in the mud, loved me deeply through heartbreak and grief, and allowed me to fully and freely be myself. It's about navigating loss and rebuilding self-love in the midst of grief. I grieve in the garden. I lie down where beauty blooms and where goodness grows when the weight of my burdens is too heavy. I'm caressed by the warmth of the sun and in the loving arms of my sisters. They tend the soil and they dress my wounds with gentle care and with kind affirmations. We pull the weeds from their roots and I make space for healthy new life. My tears and the rainfall water the seeds that I sow with shaky hands and an aching heart. In time, seedlings begin to sprout. Flowers begin to flourish as I move, evolve, and change, cultivating healing and self-compassion. I rise again on 2 muddy feet, enveloped by new growth. I mature through the morning, and in spite of the grief, I thrive. Thank you. We've gone through a bit of poetry this evening, and now we have a moment for some questions and answers. I'm going to invite Rose to the stage, and she's going to lead us through some Q&A, and it's also a moment for you all to ask your burning questions. So have those in mind, and Rose, over to you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming and supporting my sister. I hope you've enjoyed yourself so far and just had more of an insight into Priscilla, what she's about, and her book. I'm so proud of you. So yeah, I just got a few questions for you, and the first one is, one of the poems in the book is called What About Me, Ma? Tell us more about that. And like, why did you write it? What were your thoughts? Why are you laughing, girl? So what was the question? Your poem, What About Me, Ma? Like, your thoughts, like writing that, any experiences you were going through when you were writing that, what was it about? Tell us more about it.
So that's one of the ones I didn't speak about today. This is a poem, it's the first one. And it's about being the eldest sibling and how sometimes you don't feel seen. It's like you're shouting, so it was me saying like, what about me? But it's also grouping other people's experiences, because some people are the middle child and they feel like they have a lot of responsibility. Some people are the youngest and they have that responsibility. So it was to be a voice to those people that don't feel seen when they have a lot of responsibility. When you're caring for a family member, you don't always get the thank yous or the appreciation. So I was exploring what that would look like 30 years on. What would your children say? Would they also feel neglected because you're too busy being wrapped up in your responsibilities? So that's the perspective I read it from, but not just mine.
Okay, that's so interesting. And that's not one of the poems you read today, right?
No.
So if you would like to read that poem, you'll need to purchase the book. I'm not joking. So tell us about why you've written the book, maybe your motivations behind it, what made you think about writing it, the first poem, or how you even put them all together in a book.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I had a quiet time, which just means time with God. And I was just telling God, what's going on with this life? And in my spirit, I heard, hold fast. And let love drive you. So let love be your motivation. And because of the way I think, I saw that as an analogy to be my motivation. So I thought, why not present this visually? And I tell you, in that moment, I got a book cover in my mind. So I just went and designed that. I should have bought the copies of the books that I made before this one, because it's been 5 over the 2 years. But I decided to let God lead and let him be my motivation. And a book came out of it. So the reason I wanted to perform it today as well was poetry is not just for someone to read their words, but it's like evidence of a transformation, evidence of somebody's journey being not just lived, but survived and overcome. So I thought, wow, not only is God trying to encourage me to keep going, but he could use this as a way to encourage other people to write, to create. Like, who told me to do poetry and perform it? Nobody. But I said, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So, yeah, the sky is really the limit, and it all came from me talking to God. I was just a bit fed up and confused. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. It's so personal because people write poetry for different reasons. Kind of like you're trying to say that your poetry is like an example of your feelings and experiences explained in a certain way that is artistic. So that's such a gift. What makes you think people are interested in poetry in general?
True. That's a very good question. Poetry is your experience being lived through somebody else. So if you see it that way, when somebody's performing their poem or giving it to you, as you read it, you're going to find yourself somewhere on that page. It might just be the full stop, maybe that isn't you, but somewhere along that poem is your story. So I feel like poetry is each of us, and that's not just to sound poetic. There's a poem in each of us. So people may not be interested in poetry, but hopefully through doing this, it shows them that, first of all, what's this girl doing on the stage writing a book? But what does she have to say? And hopefully they can see themselves. Because some of this is true, but it's mixed in with my imagination, other people's experiences. Yeah.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. So what would you say is like the theme? Because people have poetry, like, I know it's called the love drive, but I want you to go deeper into it because there might be like a theme going throughout it or different ones, but like, what would you say is the themes or the overall theme that is in your book? And was that intentional or not?
Yeah. Oh, I love that you asked that because I thought I would have answered it, but actually, as you said that, so the love drive is also a drive. You know, in America they call roads drive, or, you know, yeah. So all of us are on this address on the same drive. So we're each at different addresses. Maybe you're at number 15, love drive, and I'm at number 12. So wherever we're at in our journey, we're all on this love drive. But also because when I prayed that time, God was telling me to let love drive you. So it's those two things. Hopefully I've explained that. Yeah. Yeah.
So you feel like maybe it didn't start out as intentional, but when you were going through it, it's kind of like you were discovering like, wow, like no, this actually has a purpose, and like I'm actually finding myself. Maybe, you know, sometimes when you have a friend and you're talking to them and you're going through something, but you telling them it's like they make everything clear for you, or they will, I don't know, like just make everything make sense to you. It's like a mirror kind of thing. So when you're writing your poetry, going through it again, or as you're writing it, was like, wow, like, yeah, like, this is me. Like,
definitely. Yeah, this was self-discovery as well. A lot of it.
That's so good.
So,
So, to our audience, do you guys have any questions for Priscilla, or any remarks, or anything that you would like to share?
Yes. What's your favourite poem?
What's your favourite poem? If you have one.
I didn't anticipate that question.
it would have to be previously known as the Thorned Rose. And I don't know if you guys know, Tiana Taylor had a song called, I think it's called Ghetto Rose or something. Ghetto Rose? Anyways, I just thought the rose and the thorn kind of like opposites, but going through transformation, I don't feel like that's accurate of me anymore. So I think that's a beautiful one to look at. Like, how do I explore that? Like, how am I going to chat about a thorn rose? Like, so I think that one has the most shocking to do, but also is very real. So that one isn't my imagination, that's me. That's all me, my story. So previously known as the Thorn Rose is my favorite. Yeah, that's a good question.
So yeah, has anybody else got any questions? Yes. Hey girl.
Out of all the poems that you wrote, are there any that you wrote at a time that was quite dark, but you've now seen light and come back, right?
Wow, y'all really came here to ask the questions. Yeah, there's one called Not a Mistake. Yeah, it's about not being a mistake, even if you weren't planned. That one is mad. It's mixed. It's a real story mixed with other people's story. Because even if your friends tell you you're not a mistake, sometimes the fact alone that you weren't planned can play on you. And depending on what your life experiences have been or what they've echoed in your life, I think for certain times, like Indictment was a real story of mine at 15. And Rose, Rose, somebody told Rose that I lived a certain life and it was a complete lie. So that stuff like that, when it happens, you think, wow, if I'm not planned to be here, then like a lot of the things you feel like a victim. So Not a Mistake was definitely from a dark place. But that's why I like previously known as the Thorned Rose. But like I had a lot of thorns. So yeah, Not a Mistake is a dark one. But we're in the light now. So
Y'all know my girl cry. Has anybody else got any questions or remarks or anything you would like to share?
Just well done on your great, this is amazing. And also I was wondering, how did you know your book was finished? Like that was enough poems? Like what made you say it's finished and I'm gonna publish it?
that's a good question.
I feel like I want to answer that, but go on.
Go on then, go on.
No, you can say your part, but I feel like she has hundreds of poems, and like there was a point where the book was maybe triple this size. No lie, triple that size. It was a lot, and I don't know what point you came to, which you're probably gonna have to explain now. But you chopped off so much and changed the cover and everything. So yeah, at what point did you know that it was finished?
First of all, my director, Renita,
Woo!
she was like, she was like, "Great, you need to stop writing because you can't plan for an event when the body of work is still growing. You kind of need to know what you're working with." So that helped me. But ultimately, I felt like this was enough for people to take away and start thinking about poetry differently. I felt like it was enough. It's not perfect. I felt like it's enough for people to get to know me. I felt like it was enough for people to see. Maybe Tyler Perry could be living in South East London. So it just felt enough. But that might be different for another person. But I know I've done what I could for this volume. And that's just, it has to be enough. You know, I just have to keep going because there's a lot more books in me. So it's enough.
Yeah, and you are enough. Thank you for sharing a bit of you in a book. We're also proud of you, and we loved what we've heard so far, and we can't wait to, purchase and read and discover more, and then in turn wait for the next book to come. So yeah, well done.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody that was involved. So Renita, Christine, Arius, do you guys want to come up? Yeah. But yeah, and I'm really thankful for showing up, for being reliable, for being a bunch of fun, for trusting in the vision, for trusting in the salary amount, for being just very amazing to work with. I'm gonna take this time to give you the mic to say your name and what you do. Shout yourself out, you know.
Hi everyone, I'm Christine. I'm a filmmaker, I write and direct. It was an honour to be a part of Priscilla's book launch. The poems are so beautiful and I think she writes absolutely wonderfully, so thank you all for coming out and supporting her and supporting us. Oh yes, okay. I've been reminded, how did I say it? Okay, so
Christine has a trailer in a competition for the Eminem's Film Festival. Voting closes tomorrow, so I don't know how.
No, come and find me
and
I'll
find
force
her
you guys to vote.
and vote for her so she can make the full film. Yay! Okay. My name is Renita. I am a director. I am grateful for Priscilla for giving me this opportunity to help her with this. Yeah, it was fun. It was different. I'm a little proud of her for doing this because it's not easy creating things, and on top of that, it's not crazy. It's not easy being in front of people because there's a lot of people here. But she did it, and I'm happy for her.
My name is Arius Tennessee, and my job is not as creative as you guys' because I work in banking finance right now. But this has been a great opportunity, and thank you for giving me my acting debut, I suppose. I feel like the creative industry is something that I'm tapping into as well, so this is alright. It wasn't too bad anyway, so like I said, your writing is phenomenal, and keep going, and it's just amazing, man. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, it's been wonderful, and there's definitely going to be more, bigger and better. But for now, I just want to say thank you, and we're just gonna mingle till we go home. So we'll have some music playing, R&B vibes, soft launching kind of things, and yeah. Was I supposed to say anything else? No. Yeah. So thank you.